Oh gosh.
Sorry guys, we'll tell everybody. Hi there, it's Steve Schonberg. We're here at the Cadillac Palace Theater in Chicago for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm here with the stars of the show. You know, the Bible does say not to cherish idols, but I cherish the American Idols. So the stars of the show are, of course, Ace Young and DeGarmo. Ace plays Joseph and Diana plays the narrator. And I'm just so excited to chat with them. It's been a huge year for them. As many of you probably remember, they got
had a couple
engaged.
changes.
A few things have happened.
Couple changes happened. Life changes.
Little life changes.
Yeah,
Well, you got engaged right on the show.
Yeah, we
right?
did.
So, and then very quickly married.
Yeah, we decided let's just go for it. Why wait?
Yeah. And so then, you know, how quickly you became, you know, involved in a show. I know you did hair together right on Broadway.
That's how we met.
That was 4.5 years ago.
Yeah, we originally met. Everybody thinks it's Idol, but it wasn't. It was actually the first audition day when I was auditioning for Burger and she was auditioning for Sheila for the revival of Hair in New York City.
That's great.
It was our first day of meeting.
Yep.
So what about Joseph, though? So here we are, and you just got married. Most people take time to nest and everything. Not you guys. You decided to go and do a musical.
It's in our blood
Yeah,
to
we
like
love this stuff.
to do this. Yeah, and we actually, you know, we did have about a month or two post wedding where we were nesting and we had a lovely little house and we were buying stuff and then we were like, okay, now what? You know, and it was perfect. The Troika and IPM Independent Presenters Network came to us and said, hey, what are you guys up to? And they ended up, it was a dual agreement for the both of us, which of course it was much easier for us to say yes to.
Exactly.
If it had been just one, it would have been really hard, because we love this show, but we didn't want to spend, it's a long contract, you know, we were planning to be out until April 2015.
And it's hard to travel without your loved one. And you know, if you're in Broadway in New York, it's one thing because you go to New York and you're just there.
Or you go home at night and your significant other is at home. You know?
Exactly. But this one, it was a dream come true that the offer came for both of us. And that's how we met. So it's actually awesome because we feel we work very well together.
Clearly do.
So it's been a lot of fun actually learning a new show and being able to do it together.
Yeah.
The ironic thing of the show is that the narrator is your informant. She's the one that tells you everything that's going on during the show, and I don't get to look at her. She gets to look at me.
I get to look at him. It'd be kind of creepy sometimes because I'm really close, but...
Well, I saw the show last night. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
What's so interesting to your point about being the narrator and that you don't actually interact with her is that, just for viewers, and hopefully they'll come see the show, is that Diana's dressed in modern day clothing.
Yes.
She's actually the only one. So she really is the perspective of the audience to show the story of Joseph, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like an audience member jumped up on stage and was like, hey, I'm going to tell a story, and it just kind of comes to life.
And I am in what will be hip in the next 30 years.
Yes, they say fashion comes back around,
Fashion
right?
comes back around.
Maybe Cayman fashion will be...
What do you say?
Maybe a swimsuit.
Well, it is funny. Think about, I know you're big Broadway fans. Andrew Lloyd Webber, the only show he is currently running on Broadway is Phantom, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's clearly other shows they have in the works, but Joseph is one of his best.
It's quite beloved. Beloved, yes, it is.
It's been 20 years.
I think it's time, you know. We're just going to put it into the universe.
Yeah.
You know, we also want to do another cast recording at some point, so, I mean, we're just putting it out there and hoping that somebody picks it up.
The most amazing thing is that Andy Blankenbuehler, our director and choreographer, he's won many awards. He's a Tony Award-winner for a reason. This guy is the modern day Joseph. I mean, he literally took everything that technology has to offer and he put that within the production of this new Joseph show, where the lighting, the projections, the sound, I mean, you couldn't do these things 10 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So he really wants to make sure it's hip to the younger kids, but it's also jaw-dropping to the people that love Joseph and are used to it. And Andrew Lloyd Webber met with him, and he then gave our director the blessing, saying, make the music your own. Let Ace and Diana do what they want to do with it. Make it their own. So we get to actually take this music that we all love, do it the way that you love it, but at the very end, we get to take one song that we get to change and make it Ace and Diana. And that's the first moment I really get to look at Diana, is when we do that prologue repris at the very end and we're both holding microphones.
Yeah.
And that's the first moment I really get to see her, because that's us with the crowd. And that's the first moment I really get to see her, because that's
Some are lucky, some are not. But if you think it, want it, dream it, then it's real. You are what you feel, and it could be
I thought that was beautiful, having a personal history with the show, having been in it as a kid, and just having known the show and having seen the original. Not the original, the 1994
Yes.
version of it. It was really nice to see you guys doing that. I think this version is for anyone who loves Joseph. They'll see a lot of the things that they love, but they'll see a lot of new pieces and additions that kind of change it up and kind of make it feel fresh again. I think you've got different groups of people, and I wonder for the for fans who. There's two versions that they might love. There's the one from 30 years ago, which was the very basic, very stripped down story, and then you had your 20 years ago where you had Tony Osmond had done it.
Yes, of course. Nobody can forget Donny Osmond.
He made the movie. I mean, that amazing scene in the movie where when he's in the jail, of course. But this version, I think, you're sort of graduating from that. So you've helped progress. It's not that you're repeating in any way.
No, yeah. And Andy Blankenbuehler was our captain. Like I said, he's kind of our modern day Joseph. He dreamt of it. Was his whole vision of how to bring the show. Just give it some, like you said, fresh new life, some new air to it, and but still honoring what an amazing show it is. I mean, there's a reason why this show is standing the test of time, and so many people come to see the show and they know the music. And Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, they wrote a darn hit, and it shows. And we don't have to do much. The show speaks for itself, and it's fun to kind of just create our own version of it. Have a good time too.
You know what I forgot to ask, by the way, while we were talking about you guys being newlyweds, working together. I didn't get to see the ring.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So
I don't know if anyone can see this at home, but
Diana's favorite flower is the sunflower.
Yeah.
So it's a yellow diamond, and it's surrounded by two clear diamonds, so you can see that it's not dirty, it's yellow. And we love gold. We think gold is awesome, and it needed to come back. So she has a gold
And I get
band.
to wear all of this beautiful gold jewelry in the show, so
Yeah.
it kind of magically goes with my costume as well.
So we rock the same gold. So that way it's fun.
oh, that's amazing.
Not fun. So we get to have a lot of fun.
Well, Diana gets this amazing pantsuit, blue, and
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, I'm very
Thank
jealous
you,
of that.
thank you. Our designer was fantastic, Jennifer Caprio. Thank you.
Go, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jennifer's actually the one that also was the brains behind
Is that right?
this jacket.
The jacket, I think it looks incredible. As newlyweds, do you find that, to work with your partner, most people say that that's tense, but you guys seem to really, it almost surprises me. You get along.
We get sad when we don't work together. That's actually the honest to goodness truth. Because we genuinely, he's my best friend, and we love spending so much time together, and we are creative beings, and we bounce off of each other really well. So even, whether we're in the studio or whether we're doing a show, it's like, we do our pre-show warm-ups together, and we're not trying to be that couple where we're nauseating by any means, but we enjoy each other's company, and I think that's a pretty big part of being in any relationship is you should like being with your partner. But we're lucky we do the same thing. I mean, if I did taxes and you were an architect, that might be a little weird if we tried to work together then.
For me, it's like recess. I mean, when we get to work together, we get to be creative and bring what each of us bring.
Yeah.
But it's like recess when you were in first grade, and all you couldn't wait for that recess time to hit, and just go outside and just have fun, where you get to really have a blast with other creative people. We get to do that as a living, and they truly appreciate the notes that this beautiful woman can hit, and they appreciate what I can bring to the table as well, and it's awesome to just mutually respect everyone in the cast.
That's incredible. And forget the notes just in the show. I mean, you guys just finished doing that EP, your country EP. You guys worked together on that.
We produced it all.
For any fans of Diana and from the show, just encourage you, go on iTunes, download it. It is incredible.
And if you come see the show, it'll be for sale at the merch booth. That's the only place in the universe you can buy a hard
we
copy.
actually have brand new music
Yeah.
that's coming here at the show.
Yeah, it'll be here in Chicago by the end of next week. They got a little back order. Sorry, guys. We don't have control of the CD makers.
But you'll hear a different side of her from Blue Skies, which was one of my favorite
Oh,
albums.
thank
It remains one of my favorite albums.
Awesome.
What are your favorite numbers in the show? What would you say is your favorite? I know, like, I would say Pharaoh's song for you is really, it's incredible. Like, Close Every Door is the epitome of all Joseph songs. Do you love that, or is there something else?
I love that song. It took me a while to get used to singing it because it's just after Potiphar, where I am running around the stage like a madman.
Yeah.
So to go from running to then be sentimental and anchored in my low register, that was hard in the first couple weeks, just to figure out how to slow down my heart so I could sing Close Every Door, because it's the first ballad of the show. So it was like, I'm just running like a madman, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's be real for a minute. And my heart's still going, wait a second, and I'm just sweating.
Yeah.
So it took me a minute to get really comfortable, and the acting side kicked in to get me through it, because I was genuinely afraid. And that's how Joseph was, but we also want to show the transition. He was in prison for years. So when I start the song, I'm still kind of singing it more like the younger Joe, but when the choir kicks in and we come back right after that, I anchor down and I man up, because this is years later. This is a lot of time that happens within that jail cell. So I literally start and I let my voice transcend to where at the end of the show, you'll hear my lower register and the full vowels, whereas in the beginning, you hear me more up on the top and having fun and being playful with the words like a oblivious child.
Oblivious.
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 I'm creating words.
We're Joseph, we're creating
If
words.
Andrew Lloyd Webber can create words, I can create
We
words.
can all make a word.
Yes. You make chocolate.
I'll use
So,
it. We'll start tweet. I'll tweet you it.
Yeah.
And then we'll all retweet it.
Yes.
Like that was oblivious.
Please, it'll make TMZ tomorrow. What you just said, I think, is so incredibly insightful about not just the show, but also you as an artist, because that is a very different take than any other Joseph. Every other Joseph goes right in for the kill. They go in for, and I can't speak for them, I'm just speaking from an audience member's perspective. They say, oh, here's my big...
My moment,
let me just belt this out. But I think what you're saying is right about he was in jail for years, so you're, in 5 minutes is supposed to capture so much time.
Yeah.
So I think you're very right in saying that. I think what's interesting, tell me if you disagree, is that, the show really is about accepting people who are different, and redemption, and the idea of forgiving others who may not have treated you well, but that we all must move on
and family. And it's about really Joseph knows who he is at the beginning of the show, and a lot of times, and even in this generation and this day and time, for people that sometimes at a young age that know who they are, it can be frightening because it takes some others a really long time to figure out who they are, and I think that's what causes the discord between Joseph and his brothers, is that he's excited to be like, yeah, I have these dreams, and the brothers are like, well, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? But then later on, they start to figure out themselves, and they do it. Everything kind of comes full circle, and like you said, it also is redemption and about finding how it all just comes back to the core of the family.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys have done a magical, incredible job on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna work hard to bring it to Broadway.
Yes.
You get that?
I'm telling you, on my way back to New York, guys, we're gonna. This will be my new mission in life. Tell everybody
What we should do is on your website, we should link it to the Joseph website. We should start a poll. You can't vote until you see the show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
When we do this, once you see our production of Joseph, you should then do a poll on both these websites, and you should say, can we get it to Broadway? That's the poll.
Yeah.
We're going to all vote together, and we're going to let all the investors that are doing the show with us now know that we want to see it. And then the next poll will be, after you see the production, should there be another cast album?
No, we need it. First of all, we need I'm taking a stand on that comment.
Deal.
Because, I grew up on the Jason Donovan version, and I loved it, but you know what, after 20-something years, I want a new one, and I want to hear you guys singing it. So not just for my website, but this will be going up on BroadwayWorld as well. So, hey, I want a new one, and I want to hear you guys singing it. So not just for my website, but this will be going up on BroadwayWorld as well. So, me on American Idol, I don't remember you being as fit as you are now. Was this maybe?
It was hidden underneath his clothes. I did hair. I remember the first day I was like, excuse me.
My God.
Hello, Mr. Abs. Okay. He has the genetic coding of a 14-year-old, and I will tell you that the young DNA, I pray that our children, if we get across that bridge, have more of his DNA than mine, because his family's gorgeous, and they're all, just so fit and fabulous, and I love my family, but we're not that good looking.
Let me ask you, Diana, do you play cards at all?
Yes.
Okay, how about instead I get you a king and we match this ace with this queen?
Hey!
So anybody, for fans that are going to want to see the show, even if you don't like the show, just go to see Ace looking absolutely fantastic.
And hear Diana wailing.
Yes, everything, all the amazing parts of the show. I think the last thing is what people are seeing behind us is the amazing code and the work that had been done to create this code. And who created it again?
Jennifer Caprio, our designer, she was actually inspired by the 12 stained glass made by Chagall in Jerusalem.
Okay.
So each of the 12 panels represents Jacob's 12 sons, and his 12 blessings he gave to each of his sons. And if you look hard enough, every single one of those 29 colors that we name are on the coat. A graphic designer helped print the stained glass. I mean, it's all done by hand, and this is the only one, the first and one and only in its production.
You're in the vault right now.
Wow, I feel lucky. It's really hard for viewers, though, I think, to see it,
When you see it on stage, it's magical.
You have to see it on stage. I mean, you were telling me, though, but I can't remember, because it was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and
black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn, lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve and cream and crimson and silver and rose and azure and lemon and russet and gray, purple and white and pink and orange and blue.
Well, guys, now you know. So for more information, go to josephthemusical.com and find out if they're playing in a city near you. And if they are, go rush and get tickets. Thanks for